Hi, everybody. My name is Lindsay, and I'm a Bravoholic.
You're preaching to the choir. Bravo, bravo, bravo.
Honey, you have to stop saying that.
Hi, my name is Victor Becerril, and I am a Bravoholic.
Victor, I'm so excited to have you on Bravoholics Anonymous. When I found out that you were into reality TV, when you came down and were like, Lindsay, you watch Bravo. And I was like, yes.
Let me tell you how it started, because it was the day before that. It was like a weekend at work, and somebody from a Bravo show came into the restaurant.
Who?
Mauricio. I don't know, I guess we can say that. Yeah, right?
It's okay. We're not saying what restaurant. We're not saying. Yeah.
Okay. So Mauricio came in with this girl. And
was it the blonde Russian in the picture?
I think it was her. And he came in late. Like, not late, but yeah, it was one of the last reservations. He didn't have a reservation. It was a walk-in.
Oh, my God.
And I sat on the mezzanine, or where the 210s are. And I was like, oh, my God.
It's Mauricio.
And then I started asking a couple of the servers. I was like, do you guys watch any of the Bravo shows or Beverly Hills? And no, everybody was like, no.
I know. I have no one to talk to about it.
And then Micah, she's like, I think Lindsay does that, watches it. And I was like, okay, but you weren't there that night. And so the next day, that's when I came over to you.
Yes,
and I was just so
excited
happy.
Because the only other person we have at work to talk to about that is Bree, the bartender.
Oh, good to know. Because I work with her on the weekends.
Because Bree and I talk about it when we work together, which is like one day a week. We talk about it. One night we were working together, and Ariana and Dana came in with Logan and someone else, and I was like, Bree, we gotta hook them up. We gotta bring them a round of drinks. We gotta charm them. These are our girls. I think we should jump into like Traitors, the Traitors finale. Everyone's talking about it. I just did a big episode leading up to Traitors, covering everything going into it with my prediction and everything. I was, spoiler alert, so happy that the Faithfuls won. I thought it was so faithful of them to all vote green too, the first round in the fire pit. Like that felt like so faithful of them.
It was. I almost thought that, oh God, what's the housewife? I almost thought Dolores was gonna be red fire for a second.
So did I. They really cut it that way to make us think she even wore red. But I thought it was just so faithful of them to all be like, no, I just hope we all are faithfuls.
Yeah.
I was like, that's the only time this is ever going to happen.
I was so happy for them to win. Because last 2 seasons, was it Traitors that won?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was grateful for them to win. Even though Dylan kind of annoyed me a few times. But
the last season, there were faithfuls, but they were like 2 people that were loyal to each other from the same show. And everybody else got cut off. Yeah. And then the one before that was a survivor traitor. But still, this is like a really wholesome group.
Yeah.
Even though Ivor was in there, and like not all of us loved Ivor. But Ivor really grew on me. When I was watching the finale, I was like, okay, like I really hope Ivor wins too.
How much did they win?
I don't literally like $50K each. After taxes, it's like $25K.
But that exposure. But I'm glad the Faithfuls won. There's no way
for 2
Danielle
weeks in Scotland, it's just so fun to play. I wouldn't even be there for the money. I'd be there just to like try to play the game.
Wait, only 2 weeks they're there?
They shoot every day for like 2 weeks in Scotland.
Holy shit, those must be like long hours.
They are if you're a traitor, the hours are long because you're going to the turret late at night.
Okay.
And then you have to get up early for breakfast to get ready for production and then go to breakfast.
Damn, 2 weeks. That's quick for that
so
show.
If you're in the show for a minute, you start looking at who's really tired. And you might have a good indicator of who's a traitor.
Yes.
Because they're staying up till like 10 or 11 or 12.
Yeah.
I really, in past episodes, I've given Alan Cummings a lot of credit because he's there at the turret and shooting those scenes with them. He's working all day with them.
I could tell the last couple episodes, I saw it in his eyes.
Yeah.
He looked tired. He looked tired.
I would be exhausted. I need my beauty sleep.
He's amazing. His style.
So good.
So
except for
effing
that
good.
hideous blue poncho at the end. Did you see the gemmed poncho at the
I mean,
end?
there's so many looks for me, but I think
purple-
yes, with the,
I
with
wish
the
he kept the-
feathers or something.
It was a blue poncho and it was covered in gems. And don't get me wrong, my inner child loved it, but it was so ugly. It looked like a tree skirt.
The one with the little pony that he
So
had.
cute.
So cute.
So
His style
cute.
he's stepping up his game for sure.
I think it's part of the appeal for him to do that show.
Yeah.
The purple suit he wore in the finale. I wish he kept that on the whole time with the chain piece, like the chain shirt underneath. It was like a dickie, but it was all chains. I'm going to pull up a picture.
Like, pull it up.
I'm pulling up a picture.
No, his style is amazing. And like, I'm so happy for him to like bring it to the runway, literally. So I like seeing his looks. I need to know who his stylist is so I can send him some bow ties for next season. When do they start shooting, actually?
Oh my God.
Because he does wear bow ties.
Yeah. No,
And I can
he
make him, like,
does.
some
He's
fabulous
got
pieces.
So many bow ties. You need to make something outrageous though, like more chains.
Yeah. Or like
More-
a beautiful sequin lobo, or like, yeah, something cool, or like a thick chain.
We need to go to the fabric shopping.
Let's do it.
Okay.
They're
and we
phenomenal.
have to get your bow ties on Alan. That's our new goal.
We have to.
We have to go shopping.
Downtown, yeah. To
Downtown,
that fashion
yeah.
district.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've been
Yes.
to Maple Street.
Yes.
Santee Alley, have you been?
Yeah, I've been all over.
Yeah.
When I lived in New York too, I'm very familiar with the fashion district in New York. I used to spend a lot of time going to the hardware stores and stuff like that down there to do little odd things.
Yeah.
Make little things, you know? Okay, so Traitors was great. We're so excited that the Faithfuls won. The reunion looks were amazing. Bob the drag queen had like a spectacular outfit put together.
I think he's the one that stepped it up, yeah, with that white gown and then
Yeah, and the
red
blood
gloves.
on the blood on his hands.
And then his wig. The lace was a little crooked. I think I was looking at it. That's like the only thing that I was like, oh, girl, come on.
But everything else looked great.
But
It was
everything else was
honestly like the hair
amazing.
felt like it was a nod towards the British monarchy and like the royalty style
Yeah.
updo.
Yeah, he looked amazing. Oh, there was also red at the bottom. I didn't realize that.
That's cool.
And then Carolyn,
wore her like best princess. She had the big chandelier earrings. She had the hair, the makeup. She went glam, glam, glam.
the tickets were out too on her.
Yes.
The girls
they
were playing.
She
yeah.
was like, she was dangling her assets.
I empathize with her the way that sometimes she feels judged by other people just because how she's kooky in a way. Maybe
She
kooky
is
not
like
the
watching her interviews and like little social media clips. Like, I think she was on her best behavior in the Traitors house, and I think like she's just so scattered
Yeah.
and like like kind of such a free spirit that
Yeah.
it's hard to follow her sometimes, and maybe that's how she feels judged.
Yeah, but I have a sweet spot for her. I love her. I think she's great.
I thought Dylan's intuition was like the biggest surprise to me this whole season. He is so grounded and so in touch with his gut, almost like a woman's intuition. He sniffed out every traitor off of
Yeah.
like gut feelings and stuff. I was really surprised.
Yeah. He didn't pull the trigger on a couple of them right away, but then he was just sitting with it.
I think he was waiting till the end. I think he knew Rob was a traitor. I think he knew Danielle was a traitor. And I think he was like knowing that these people were keeping him safe because they could trust him.
Yeah.
And they were right. They could trust him to a certain degree.
Yeah. The fact that they didn't vote out Rob sooner was kind of like annoying to me because it's like, it's Rob. Of course he's going to be
You
a
gotta get
freaking
him out
traitor.
ASAP, yeah.
Especially when the other two that were in those cages were
Wes
voted
and
out.
Derek.
They were voted off already, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, of course one of these guys is going to be a traitor, but that blowout between him and Bob was so fucking good.
I know.
And I was rooting for fucking Bob, but then he just didn't have the argument.
I just don't think Bob came in with any kind of strategy. Like Bob's strengths are his wit, his charm, and his like boldness. But he doesn't come from a gaming competition style show. Like RuPaul's Drag Race is like an art competition show. It's not like building teams and allies. I mean, unless you're watching the Detox season, whereas Alaska Talks, and they had their like little ally group.
Alaska Talks.
Yeah, where they were like in each other's corner the whole time.
Yeah.
But I think that Bob came in and like knew he was going to be loud and proud. And so just kind of kept playing that character. And I think if Bob didn't say anything about the 3 guys in cages during that one competition, I do think he would have gotten 2 more weeks shelf life out of it. But he would have put his foot in his mouth again. As if he didn't say that, he would have done it in another way.
Yeah. And
because he just wasn't thinking enough about stuff, you know? And he was so influential. He had so many people in his corner. Anyway,
it was influential, but like, and Rob, the minute he sniffed that out, he's like, I need to get him out of here.
Danielle looked great at the reunion. You could tell she cleaned up for that reunion.
She did that fitted
dress.
Her dress
looked really heavy, but it was like that gorgeous beaded green dress. She got her like mermaid braids redone.
Yes.
So they looked fresh and way better than this, whatever the Scottish Highland humidity did to her hair.
Yeah, she did look good.
Yeah. Brittany,
I didn't like that outfit.
You know what? She's a real mom. And
there was like a panel that stuck out like on the side of her shoulder. I don't think you can see it in this photo, but yeah, I wasn't a fan. I think the best were for me, Bob, obviously, because just like the drama.
Yeah.
And Carolyn.
Yeah. They turned up. They looked
good.
Did
Alan show up to the reunion?
Did who?
Did Alan show up to
No.
No, right?
No, it was hosted by Andy.
Right.
Which is fine, I guess. I don't know. People online think that Andy should only do the reunions for the Housewives and there should be someone else doing all the other shows because sometimes he doesn't seem like he is as invested.
It should be Alan. He's been do you think there's like a contractual thing there?
I think Andy probably wanted to be involved.
Is he an executive producer?
Andy is like so high up at Bravo Peacock that anything Andy wants, he gets. That's why he's his own show. Watch What Happens Live is something Andy put in his contract that he gets his own show.
I need to call into like Andy late night, so maybe we can start flirting. That's what I need, a daddy like Andy.
You need a daddy like Andy. I wonder if you're his type. I wonder what his type is.
Probably not. His type is like white boy. Like
that's like 19.
19, yeah.
So bad.
Although if I do get fit, I feel like if I get like some abs and stuff like that, he would like that.
I'm sure.
Whatever.
I don't know.
We'll
Talk
put it
to
out
Nick.
there.
Nick will help you get abs. Our friend Nick.
Yes.
Okay. So Traitors was great. We're happy that the Faithfuls won. Everyone looked amazing. And I'm really looking forward to next season. I'm going to start putting my mind towards who I would like to see on the season. And I think next week I'll put out a little list of like my ultimate cast for Traitors season 4.
Yeah. I hope one of the drag queens makes it there. And I hope it's Alaska.
Oh, I love Alaska. Alaska is hilarious. I think Alaska's a great choice.
Yeah.
Definitely. Or even like a Jinx Monsoon, because Jinx would offer a lot of dimension. Like, one, they're kind of like an outcast. Like every time Jinx is in a group, they're always on the outs. They're not in the cool kids group. And they have a lot of anxiety. But also they're witty and smart and funny. And I feel like that might be a really interesting dynamic to have a drag queen that isn't commanding attention. Because Peppermint kind of commanded attention.
Too much. Bless her. She was the first one out, right?
I know. And Alan, after that season in an interview, was like really upset that a person of color, trans person, was like eliminated first. So going into season 3, Alan said that he really put his foot down, that he wanted a lot more like LGBTQ plus positive casting. Yeah. And I think we really saw it this season.
Great season. Is there going to be another one this year, or do we have to wait till next year?
Well, there's the international ones, but I'm sure we're probably going to have to wait till next year.
That sucks.
I know. I hate waiting for shows to come up with a new season. But then again, if this was Drag Race, I'd be nauseous from it because there's just too much.
Way too many.
I can't even keep up. You just started Southern Charm.
I just started
You
Southern
just
Charm.
watched the first couple episodes of Southern Charm.
The first 2 episodes, yeah.
And I am a big Southern Charm fan. I haven't covered it on the show yet. I probably will start diving into and recapping and giving my thoughts on the early seasons of things. But I have to know what you thought. You met a lot of the characters in that first episode. They had a party at Whitney's mom's house.
Yeah.
Lots of cute boys.
So many cute boys. And I know that I I started watching it because of you, but
Uh-huh.
also because of White Lotus. And I heard that the director had directed the cast of White Lotus to watch Southern
Right.
Charm.
Specifically Parker Posey's family.
Pat, right? Or Patricia?
Miss Patricia, yeah, is the supposed influence for Parker Posey's character.
I am excited to get to know this lady.
I honestly feel like it's Miss Patricia, but that meets like Denise Richards, because Denise Richards of Beverly Hills
Yeah.
has a little bit of this like chaotic, I don't want to say pill popper energy. Like,
Oh my God, yes. Yeah.
so I think Parker Posey has a little bit of a twist of that, because Miss Pat isn't giving, I've got a pharmacy in my bag. But Parker Posey's character
I have a
has
wine
little bit of
cellar.
that. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Well, she drinks a lot.
Yeah.
But it's not like that, like, kind of like, I'm going to pop a pill and go to sleep energy. That's not Miss Pat. So I think it's like a twist of like a little Denise Richards. Yeah, no, I love that. And then we have her husband, who's supposedly reflected by Thomas Ravenel, who you met in the pilot.
That's Patricia's husband?
No,
Thomas?
no. But on the show, like
Okay.
the White Lotus,
Okay.
Parker Posey's husband is supposed to be framed after Thomas Ravenel.
Okay.
What'd you think of Thomas when you saw Thomas on the show?
Well, I thought he was hot, but that's because I'm like into.
No one's judging you. We all had these thoughts when the show started.
Yeah.
He's kind of dad. He's kind of daddy.
He's a little.
He's an ex-politician.
Yeah, he's
rich
kind of
as
dirty.
shit. Yeah.
He's like horny. You get like these like lascivious looks, or like he's touchy feeling. I don't know. I was turned on by him. Would I date him? Would he date me? Probably not. So I thought he was cute.
Okay, great. And then you also met Craig. Craig is kind of like the one that doesn't come from money, but went to school.
Yeah, he goes. He's going to school for law.
That's right.
He's only 25 in season 1, which is interesting.
Yeah, and all these guys are really tall, so they're quite striking. When you go to Charleston and you see how many women are there, it's the opposite of Seattle. Seattle's mostly men, and Charleston is mostly women.
Oh.
So if you're a man over a certain height with a certain kind of look, you're pulling girls every night. And that's where we get this Peter Pan syndrome that you're introduced to in the pilot of Southern Charm.
Yes. Craig, I like. I think, but
Cutie.
my favorite is what's the other one?
Shep.
Shep.
Yeah.
I think he's just super sweet. Only for the first 2 episodes.
Kind of like a little surfer boy.
Yeah.
He also comes from money like Thomas does, but he's younger.
Okay.
And yeah, cute, charming. He's kind of like golden retriever energy.
Okay. Do we get to know his family down the line? Or
Yes, yeah.
okay.
We are now like, I think 10 seasons.
10 seasons.
deep. You get to know everybody.
Okay.
You go on a journey, and Southern Charm is such a good show because I tell people this and they're like, what should I watch next? Vanderpump, Southern Charm, they're both great.
Yeah.
Vanderpump is LA and it's the WeHo restaurant scene. So it is like definitely something I think you should watch because I think there's so much to relate to.
Mm-hmm.
But Southern Charm is something different. It's something special because the age demo skews older.
Mm.
I mean, don't get me wrong. You have Catherine, the redhead on that show, who's literally like 19 or 21.
Who in the first 2
or
episodes
something.
slept with 2 of them, with both Thomas and Shep.
Yeah.
Go get it, girl.
Well, did you see the pilot close in Whitney's room yet?
No.
In the pilot, does Miss Patricia
Oh,
find a
yes,
bag of clothes
yes.
with an Ann Taylor?
Yeah. yes.
I'm going to tell you,
What?
that bag belongs to Miss Catherine.
Hell yeah. Oh, wait. So 3 already. Damn. Get it. Get it, girl. Get it. I'm here for it.
She's partying in the same circle.
I love it.
And so when I tell people, they're like, what should I watch? I'm like, well, this show made history because it is the first reality show that I've seen, not 1, but 2 babies born out of wedlock between 2 cast members. And that's all I ever say. And I'm like, okay, go watch it. It gets crazy.
Okay. I'm excited. Whitney. Why do I got gay vibes right away.
Whitney is giving like Norman Bates. Like he's obsessed with Mother. And it's kind of like he's one of those guys that like if you're in a relationship with Whitney, you're going to be in a relationship with his mom because his mom's not going anywhere.
Maybe that's
They've
it.
got old money. And it's hard for me to give an unbiased opinion because I've been with the show since it started. And I've been to Charleston. I've gone and like
Looks beautiful.
I love Charleston. I love New Orleans. Like those are my favorite American. I mean, New York City's great too, but those are my favorite American cities currently. I think they have so much character and they have history and you can kind of feel it, but it's like different. The food's really good. The food's really good.
I don't know. I think Whitney has a crush on Shep.
Okay, that's a good prediction. I like that prediction.
I don't know.
Like, I think Whitney likes Shep.
And they're talking about building a restaurant together. He gets so excited. Just the looks that he gives him. Maybe he doesn't come out, or
But you're
maybe
picking up on some tension.
I am a little bit.
Okay, great. I love that. It's a good prediction. Any other predictions you had?
No, not yet.
You're just getting to
I
know
do
them.
like Jenna. Jenna, that's the like
edgy
outsider,
one.
the edgy one. I'm interesting to know. The last episode, they gave us a little. They're gonna start questioning her about her money, which was interesting to me. I'm like, oh, I can't wait for episode 3.
Yeah, and her boyfriend.
Oh.
Her sugar daddy.
Oh, she has a sugar daddy. Okay.
Well, that's what they insinuate. She, like a lot of other good sugar babies that I've heard talk, there's when you get into a relationship like that, if you get into a good one, your partner will help you with investments, and that sets you up for the long term. So, like, if you're in if you are considering a sugar baby relationship,
Let me write that down.
write this down. You want a partner that helps you. You don't want just gifts.
No.
You do want gifts, but you don't want gifts. You want them to buy you things when you go shopping together, when you're traveling together, and then you want them to help you set up your finances. And then ideally that means they're helping you with your investments.
Okay.
And so that way, if the relationship ends and you leave it, you're set up for the future and you have these things going for you.
Good to know.
Yeah.
I do need a sugar. Well, I think I'm past my prime to get a sugar daddy. I feel like now I have to be the sugar daddy. No, because I still find myself like a 60, 70-year-old.
Absolutely.
What
about Cameron? What did you think of Cameron?
That's
the blonde, like, narrating
She's
one.
pretty chill. Mm-hmm. She seems like she's the most like level-headed.
Yeah.
And is trying to stay away from sort of the drama, like an observer. But I don't know. Her and Craig have had a history, or no? Or am I...
They haven't. They're just friends.
Okay.
But she kind of is like presented in the first season as the person that's like the grounding force and will like tell the guys how it is. Are you going to be in a relationship next year? Like, she'll ask the questions the audience wants to hear.
Okay.
So, and she's also like Craig, not coming from money, like having to hustle. And her family's from Charleston, but she's not like one of these heiresses, like a Catherine, like a Shep, like a Thomas.
No,
Streets are named after you, money. Islands are named after you, money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy.
Bridges.
The bridges.
Yeah.
That's wild. That's wild.
I like her. I think...
Whitney's old money too.
Oh, you could tell.
He's a producer. So he's one of the guys that started the show, which gets mixed in the sauce a lot going down the road. I'm really excited for you. I wish I could be, like, I can't wait for you to meet this character, Ashley, somebody Thomas dates down the road.
How many does he date? Probably, yeah. It's funny to me that he's trying to clean up his like look or whatever, but he's still going for all these like young women. And I'm like, dude, like, either just be yourself and fuck around. Or...
I mean, why not?
He's 50 in season 1.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull him up. This is a more modern picture. I'm sure he looked a little younger in the pilot, but
Oh yeah, totally. I would still sit on that.
You'd let him take you to dinner and buy you pasta.
100%.
Right. Yeah, no, I mean, and he's charming.
The Catherine girl, the redhead, does she become a main character? Because I feel like she's just being passed around right now a little bit.
She is honestly instrumental to the show.
Okay.
She is, there should be a college course on Catherine.
Ooh.
Catherine really goes through it because she starts on the show so young. Mm-hmm. Because she comes from old money and has this pressure on her as a young woman with a great family name. She's a Calhoun. And the Calhouns are just as old as the Ravenels are. Mm. And so she's kind of fixated early on Thomas Ravenel because the idea of those two names coming together in a marriage would be really good for her family,
her Romeo
essentially,
and Juliet.
and like in the South and what they think about all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like two big family names coming together, and Thomas, coming from the same stock, agrees. What?
I kind of want to jump ahead.
No.
Just be patient.
There's so much. It's not even being patient. There's so much gold.
Okay.
There's so much gold in these seasons.
Okay.
You're not
Don't
missing anything. It's honestly better where you're at than where we're at now.
Okay.
You're going to have a great time.
Because I see them on like Watch What Happens Live and they're talking and I'm like, I don't know what they're talking about.
It's okay. It's almost like a multiverse now because
I'm jumping.
because there are people on Southern Charm dating people on another show on Bravo. So it's like if you were watching the Avengers stuff, you got to start at the beginning and you got to go through it to understand how the Bravo multiverse now.
Wait,
is.
I have just a random thought that just
Yeah,
popped in my
what?
head. I think Southern Charm and Vanderpump Rules, they should do like a road trip like they do with the ladies.
There's a show that's called Winter House.
Oh, there it is already.
And
Is
I
it
think
mix- is it a mix
it's
of-
mixed of young Bravo people partying.
Oh,
So like Summer House, which is like actually a core group of friends, and we've seen a couple people come in and cross-pollinate or be dating someone on Summer House. Winter House is a true collective show where they'll pull people from different properties, Below Deck, Vanderpump Rules, Southern Charm, Summer House, and they'll put them in a winter party house in like Colorado or Vail, and they'll party and ski.
Okay.
And trouble ensues.
Drama.
That's their version of it.
Okay.
But it is on a break this season. They didn't do a Winter House this year.
Okay.
I think for a number of reasons, but I think it'll be back.
All right. I'm going
Yeah.
to stick then to Southern Charm.
Stick to Southern Charm.
And go for it.
And then you get into Vanderpump, and then you can get into
Vanderpump,
the
I think
next-
I did watch last season.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, the whole Scandival
Scandival of it all.
thing. Yeah.
Did you watch all of Vanderpump or just the last season?
I think, no, just last season.
You gotta watch it all.
Okay.
It's good.
I need to
Kristen
go to that-
Doty. You have to see Kristen. You have to see what they refer to as Crazy Kristen.
She looks insane.
Well, the editors didn't do her any favors. Lisa Vanderpump didn't do her any favors. There's lots of like mixed opinions, but she was nuts.
Yeah.
She was young and she was triggered, and she was gaslit and she was crazy, Kristen.
Yeah.
And we love it. I mean, I'm not one to ever criticize. If we're putting crazy people on TV to make good TV, I'm not going to sit back and judge them harshly for their choices.
No.
But I do want to see them suffer through their decisions on TV. Okay, let's go into Beverly Hills now, since we're on the topic of like morally corrupt and crazy people. Mauricio coming into the restaurant with his hot young thing. What are we thinking? What are you thinking?
I'm
of Beverly Hills?
enjoying this season. I'm enjoying Dorit popping off at Kyle.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying that little drama there. I'm enjoying Erica Jane, like, having a
Made over home.
and now and just getting through her legal battles with her ex-husband. I'm
Yeah.
enjoying seeing them all on Ozempic, which is like
They're looking great.
They're looking great. It's a good season. Sutton
She's driving me nuts.
driving me insane.
This whole thing at Caviar.
Caftan
Caviar. Was it the place that they went and ate at is actually permanently closed. I looked it up. I was like, where is this?
Oh yeah, it's on Melrose Place.
Yeah, it's closed.
Yeah.
Permanently closed. Didn't last long.
Hmm.
Who's gonna go on Melrose and spend money on expensive caviar? Like, who opens these restaurants?
Idiot people. People that have this idea, and this could be a different topic as well, but like a different show, but like people that have these ideas of creating these restaurants, they never worked in the hospitality industry.
They have no idea what they're doing.
They just want to create a space, but then they hire a bunch of fucking morons, and that's why these places like crash and burn.
I know. It's wild to me.
But back to Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I'm enjoying that. Yeah, Sutton, drives me nuts.
Do you think she's an alcoholic? I haven't seen.
I think she likes a little bit of
I haven't
vodka in her coffee.
Right. I haven't seen her like looking like an alcoholic on the show. I know everything's edited, and I know
name she was on to something. That
Something was
season,
so-
that scene
it's weird.
was weird. She was definitely either on another pill or a couple or mixed her pills
Or
with
just
her
like
alcohol.
not eating anything and just drinking. And
Yeah.
so it, like one drink hits her because it's all, and she is moody. Someone like, I don't know if it was Dorit, but someone said that she is so inconsistent and flip-flops so much because she's drinking. And I was like, that could make sense. Because the whole sisterhood binding thing she did on her trip.
Please.
And then within hours, literally is screaming at Dorit.
Mm-hmm.
The whole thing that like Sutton really identifies with her divorce and her separation from her husband, and that she isn't at all empathetic to what Kyle or Dorit are going through.
Well, she empathizes because she's getting a fucking shit ton of money. And she's fine and she's settled. She's like, oh, I'm just getting...
She talks about her divorce all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's part of her identity. Sutton's divorce.
Yeah.
And I know it's part of like her financial identity and like her lifestyle, but I also think that like she does talk a lot about like how she separated from her husband and where her kid fell in the mix with it all and how she had to share him. And, you know, she still talks about, oh, he wants to move to London and wants my kid to come with him.
Yeah. I think Sutton is tricky because, and it all makes sense to me, meeting her mother.
Oh yeah,
and
her
that's where I was like, oh, so this is where you get it from, like from a mother that is, you know, in a way disconnected from you.
She's a real chip off the old block of her mom.
Yeah,
she really is.
So,
and I hope watching back this season she sees it and maybe she makes some changes because it's not a surprise Sutton's single.
Oh yeah,
it is not a surprise.
She's so awkward. She's so weird.
It's not even that she's awkward. She's just so... She doesn't have any space for anybody else. I'm surprised that... I think Garcelle is only close with Sutton because they started together and they feel like an allyship on the show. But I don't think Sutton even holds space for Garcelle. Like, I don't think Sutton has the ability to really care about like what's going on in Victor's life and to think about Victor.
No. She's... No. She has too much internal trauma that she hasn't worked out. I wonder if she has a therapist, which I bet she doesn't.
She does not.
She doesn't. She needs one. She
oh
needs
my
to
God,
cure
yeah.
that inner child. Like I see it. She's like desperate for that love and affection from mom or dad, and it all shows. Like it's
and it's definitely part of the storyline, which is for the season, which I think is cool because we did meet her mom, so it all like. It makes sense in her story arc, and whoever's producing the episodes is got a really great vision for it. And I think it's an element of Sutton we haven't seen before, and it explains a lot about Sutton. And then even the most recent episode where they tie in the fact that her dad had drug use issues. Mm-hmm. And that's maybe why she's so triggered about being called an alcoholic or something like that. But you know it's in her DNA.
Yeah, but you're in your 50s. You should have already like some years of therapy under your belt. And
she has no examples of that. She's never going to do it. Her mom's never going to do it. She's never going to do it.
And I can kind of relate because I've had like conversations with my mom about like, hey, we need therapy because I'm from a Hispanic culture, so my parents and my grandparents, they don't believe in that shit. They're like, if you're depressed, you know, go sleep or don't be depressed. And it's like, no, I have like some internal shit that I need to work out, that I need to talk about, some even generational trauma. I feel like some people are still afraid of therapists. I don't get that.
I don't think they understand the luxury. I don't think it's hard. It's kind of like Americans not believing in free healthcare. It's like, it sounds too good to be true and the unknown is scary. But I don't think people truly understand that you are getting a judgment-free space. I don't think people understand that this is a person that is a professional listener. And like my first experiences with therapy were like, completely groundbreaking. This person was the first person in my life that recalled things I told them weeks prior and would integrate them into the conversation. And they were like, ooh, do you think that has to do with this? And I was like, oh my God, this person's listening to me.
Yeah, well, they're
and like retaining things. It's really hard to look in the mirror, but once you figure out why you make the choices you make,
yeah, but then don't expect others to continue to put up with your bullshit if you're not seeking help. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's what Sutton is.
But these types of people will then just cut those people out of their life and they'll start new. And that's something, leaving my 20s and going into my 30s, that I realized, I'm like, if I'm meeting somebody who seemingly doesn't have that many friends, I'm a really open, like an inviting person. And before, I would be like, if I connected with you, I wouldn't even think about those things. I'd be like, oh my God, this person's great. And when I meet somebody, I always want it to go best case scenario. Mm-hmm. A little bit of an optimist in that way. And in 20s going into my 30s, I realized, wait, there's a pattern here. If this woman that I'm connecting with so much seemingly doesn't have any other friends in their life, guess what's coming down the road for me? Yeah. It's going to be a ghosting situation. It's going to be somebody who projects something and then like makes me second guess the type of friend I've been.
Yeah.
And then just leaves. And those aren't the type of people I want to invest my time in.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think, but I also think that like, you know, the longer we're on this planet, the easier it is to read people and to like understand them too. So I feel like I still get into those situations, but it's not as frequent as it used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we hope Sutton gets a therapist.
We really hope Sutton gets a therapist.
Because the relationship.
I would watch that on the show.
Yes.
She could do her own show where she just does a podcast of her therapy sessions. Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be liberating for her.
Absolutely. Because I think she's a kind person. She's sweet. It's in
there.
It's in there.
But there's a lot of rust to, you know,
get off
of there.
Yeah, for sure.
What'd you think of that fashion show?
Oh.
I loved that it was sustainable. Okay, that's what I'll say. That's the one thing I say I loved about it is that sustainability matters. And that's so cool. And I did try to go on her website and see like what's sustainable.
Wait, is it available?
Oh, it's the t-shirts. Like I saw like the cheapest shirt was like $50. But most of the stuff hovered around $249. And it's also basic. It's like she chose a basic V-neck. She chose a cami dress. She chose a sweater dress. Nothing on that runway that we saw was original at all. You could buy it all at H&M.
Yeah, no. I didn't. The most exciting thing about the runway show for me was like Kathy, like, you know.
Yeah. It was Kathy going back there and asking if she could, if Dorit, of all people, the woman that she hates the most. Kathy knows what she's doing.
Oh, yeah.
She plays a bimbo.
Like her daughter. They play a bimbo, but they're so fucking smart.
They are. And so she walks back there and is like, do you want Dorit to hold the microphone and like call out the outfits? Like it's the 50s. And I do think there's like moments where she is serious and she's like stuck in that era.
Which I kind of think it would have been iconic if the outfits would have been called out. I feel like that would have been so memeable and so calling them, bring back that.
Yes.
That
80s. It feels like peak 80s.
I think that would have been so smart. And the fact that she didn't do it, she just didn't think. She was just like thinking about.
Like, oh, what's modern? This is a real runway.
This is a real runway. Go sit your ass down.
It was not. And then Kathy goes in where the models come in and then the show starts and Kathy comes out.
Love.
Kyle's face. Mortified. Hilarious though. So hilarious. And the Sutton fashion show was an embarrassment. But they had press. They had so much press. And I remember when they did the fashion show here in LA, there was all sorts of coverage on that show. And I was like, wait, I thought her store closed. Like, what do you mean? Mm-mm. It's an online store now.
Oh, it is an online store, but she only by appointment in the back room.
Yeah. And also Sutton models all of her garments. So it's like Sutton's wearing the clothes in a bunch of the pictures online and like, who's going to want to buy? I'm so sorry, but I hate it when the designer is also modeling their own stuff because I'm not going to buy that shirt because you're wearing it. It's the opposite. Now I think an old lady wears that shirt.
You know what she should have done?
What?
She should have auditioned up and coming like designers from like FITM or whatever. Mm-hmm. And she was the voice. She's the mentor.
Curator.
She's the curator. But the other young person is the stylist, the designer.
Yes.
And then it's just coming together, you know, like her following.
Yeah.
Combined with somebody that's young and, you know, up and coming. Mm-hmm. If she would have done that.
That's fresh.
That would have been killer.
Yes. Even if it was 5 or 10, even if it was 5 or 10 designers.
But
and they each got a model that came out.
Exactly.
And it was like, here's the future of sustainability by Sutton.
Featuring
because it's a
Marco
She's
something.
already sourcing these clothes.
Right.
Her cashmere sweater is sourced.
So ladies, if you're listening, like do that.
Bring on Victor and his bow tie.
There you go. And then Bose. I'm enjoying Bose. Bozewan. Oh, what's her name?
I love her.
She's great. Her and Dorit's friendship, I'm here for it.
And I don't think, and it's so natural. I never thought Dorit was a racist. That whole storyline Garcelle was pushing about Dorit being a racist, I was like, come on. Come on.
I think Garcelle is secretly jealous of Dorit in some capacity.
I could see that. I feel like Garcelle has had to work twice as hard her entire life. And I get it.
And she projects, yeah.
And I get it. And she's projecting that jealousy that Dorit was the blonde that fell into it all.
Yeah.
And, you know, if only Garcelle could have did that too. And everyone that's listening, it's a Garcelle fan, it's going to be like, oh my God, no, how could you, Garcelle? Blah, blah, blah. And I get it. But also, and I know Garcelle's doing her thing.
Yeah.
But Garcelle's like busting her ass to buy a beach house in Ventura that's 2.5 hours from LA. Garcelle's mansion is in Northridge. Okay. I know that like our housewives have stretched. We've got Kyle in Encino. We've got Erica in Encino. But Northridge, that's not glamorous. That's not Beverly Hills. Come on.
Yeah.
And I just think that, yeah, there's like jealousy there.
I think so.
I was shocked to see them go to dinner in the most recent episode. I was shocked they even did a scene together. But I think Dorit needs the paychecks. And she's like, I'll go to dinner with whoever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this season's good.
It's good. People are talking about like, did Bose really think she was going to have a kid with this guy? Like, what's the deal? I think she was open to it.
I think she's
got so much money, she doesn't care.
I want to sit down with her and be like, babe, you don't need I mean, women can do whatever they want with their body. They can bring how many children they want, but maybe not. But I'm like, you already found a cool guy. Like you already.
I feel like it's a him thing. I feel like
he wants one.
I feel like he wants the kid. Why would she want a kid? She already raised a kid.
No, right?
But maybe she does.
I know. Don't have another kid.
Why would she want to carry it? She's got all the money in the. Have someone else pay someone else to go to college and do it. Someone else wants to go to college, let them carry your baby. What do you think is going to happen with Erica? Is she going to like date an NBA player, or I know she's a bit of a night rider.
I think she needs to go on tour.
Again?
Was she? Yeah.
She did tour. She did residency in Vegas.
When was that? Last season or this season?
The residency in Vegas was like 2 seasons before the Tom Girardi of it all.
She needs a new touring thing, a new residency, and if that's what she wants, if she wants,
I wonder
to be
if she's interested in performing still.
There you go. Or do you think she
maybe
just wants to find another?
Maybe it was just seeing her mom like on the show made me feel like she seems a little bit easing into her age a little bit more, but also maybe not. Maybe she's just taking a rest season, like building her character again because everyone hated her during the Tom Girardi season. And so this is like her redemption season, and next season she'll come out guns blazing. I don't know. Yeah,
I want her to come out guns blazing, either like a new album or some sort of product that's going to make her make some money, or like, I don't know, a liquor brand.
She should have a clothing line.
You know? Yeah, her style is pretty good.
Some club clothes or something.
Yeah, I could see that.
Okay, which housewife of Beverly Hills do you want to have back on the show? Who are you missing?
Kind of Lisa Rinna.
Me too. I love Lisa Rinna.
Yes.
I know people don't like Lisa Rinna. I love Lisa Rinna.
Yeah, I do.
She'll do anything.
Yeah. And I kind of want Nene Leakes.
You want Nene Leakes?
Yeah.
Does she live in Beverly Hills?
She's Atlanta. Okay. But you don't watch Atlanta.
Okay, but you want her to come back.
But
too.
Yes, and then
Nene's
Lisa
Rinna.
Rinna.
Nene's a diva.
Nene's a diva, and she brings the juice, the drama.
Yeah.
The everything.
Yeah.
And then for New York, I mean, we're not really diving into that, but they need to bring the old lead, the
old cast.
The old cast.
Yeah, I know. Luann, Sonia, Dorinda. Dorinda, I was so bummed she got kicked off Traitors early because I wanted to see her get wasted and scream at somebody. That's what she does best.
I wanted her to make it nice.
Yeah. Even Andy like threw some shade her way. It was like, Dorinda hates being on pause. They came up with this term on pause because the old cast of New York couldn't handle the idea that their show was canceled. So they stopped saying that their show was canceled and they said they're on pause.
Mm-hmm. Do you think they're going to bring them back? I hope so.
Honestly, I think
Any rumors? Have you seen anything?
It's been talked about since they put them on pause. I mean, I do think you can't fake that level of delusion and that level of grandeur and that level of camaraderie that the old cast had.
Yeah.
They're true New York housewives. But I also worry about their health. Like, I worry about Dorinda and I worry about some of these women that are of a certain age
and
partying
and partying.
Yeah, at the level that they're doing. I know they're probably still doing it, so might as well have a camera on them. But I also just feel like it's a little borderline unethical. Like, you could build an argument.
I could see that.
I'm worried about some of their mental health.
Yeah.
But they're probably doing we're exploiting it. But also, I mean,
give it to us.
Is that ageist? Maybe we should do it because they are older. And maybe this is an ageist outlook that I have to reassess.
Yeah, we're not here to worry about their healths. We're here to worry about their drama.
Yeah. You're right. Okay.
I want them back. I'm done with this legacy or this new cast. It's just, it didn't do it for me. I watched their first, and then this last one was just not there for me.
If we've learned anything from the Vanderpump, the Southern Charm, the Real Housewives of New York, the Real Housewives of Orange County, the success of these shows is contingent on them being really friends. You can't fake friendships with these people. You can't fake storylines with these people. They have to actually be bonded for it to be good.
When they created that fake thing about the pregnancy with Minkoff,
Yeah.
that was so dumb for me.
It was so dumb.
Anyway, yeah, I can't even talk about New York anymore.
Kyle. Wait, we didn't talk about Kyle.
Oh, Kyle.
I'm so tired. I'm so tired
Yeah,
of
that's
Kyle.
probably why.
We're tired
She
of
needs
her.
to sell that home. She needs to get an apartment, and she needs to
get
start
her
living
own
her
space.
best single life.
The house is too big.
She needs to
She's got
cut her
all
hair.
those dogs. What is she going to do?
She needs to cut her hair. She needs to get like
Dye
a
it.
new, she needs to be like a light brown, give
Yeah.
me short hair, sell that fucking house, auction those dogs to their daughters or to
Auction them
Mauricio.
to the daughters.
And I love pets, so.
Me too.
Or maybe keep one of them. But like live your single life. Get yourself like a nice apartment in Westwood and get on Raya or some shit.
Yeah.
And start dating. Like Mauricio's not coming back right now. I think maybe in like 5 years when he realizes, or 10, he looks so hot.
I know.
He's
And
so
he's
sexy.
rich as hell.
He's
He could
so
have
sexy.
anything he wants.
And she can too. She's gorgeous, but
Yeah.
I'm sure she's a pain in the ass.
Well, the thing is that she hasn't done extensive therapy until recently. I think she didn't know what she wanted or how to ask for it from Mauricio. And so there was a disconnect. The more he worked, the more he traveled, the more the agency grew. And I think that he's too busy working to do anything like that too. And he's a man.
He's on another,
He could
yeah.
just keep going. He could date girls his daughter's age. Like, who cares? So I think, like Kyle said in this episode, I made a note of what she said because I thought it felt like really groundbreaking for her to think about. Her biggest accomplishment was keeping the marriage together and raising her family so all the kids had both strong role models. And she was always afraid of living life without Mauricio, but he was afraid of living alone.
Oh.
And when he figured out that he could live alone and he started moving on, then she was left to think about what her life would be like without Mauricio. And I think she's like, men move on so quickly because they don't do the self-reflection and the self-work. And I feel like she's going to take twice the time, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But I think she always thought that like they would just be separated and they'd still be a family unit and he could go out and do his own thing. And I honestly think maybe for years she was okay with him going out and doing his own thing. But then he started getting messy and people started photographing it. And then it was like, now we have to talk about divorce. Now we have to talk about these things. And now that he's living out on his own and no longer coming to the home base, now they probably will file for divorce because he's going to meet someone new that he's in love with and wants to marry him.
Well,
Do you think they have a prenup?
probably, but they've been together for so many years. I'm sure she's
Gonna get it all
yeah,
anyway.
she's gonna get a bunch of it.
She'll be set.
Oh, 100%.
He's a gajillionaire.
Right?
He's got an international real estate agency. They sell properties in like Dubai and stuff.
I don't think they're gonna get back together.
Okay.
And she needs to put herself out there.
Do you think she really likes women? Or do you think that... I think she has close bonds with women. I think she lost that really close friend of hers. And so and because Mauricio's been working so much and always been working so much, she's always had like girlfriends she'll call every day and talk on the phone to every day. But I don't know.
I don't think she's into women. I think she likes men.
Yeah.
And she needs to get out there and date. Do it.
Do it, Kyle.
You got this.
You heard us. Tacky, low, and classless. And that's really how I felt when Sutton brought up her wallet.
Oh,
what was that?
my God.
Now, if she said that and you told me she was an alcoholic, I might believe it because that was like the most tasteless thing I've ever heard in my life. And the fact that Jennifer Tilly or Garcelle didn't stop her was insane. The things that Sutton was saying at that table to Dorit were tacky,
Mental.
low, and classless.
Yeah, no, she was just trying to get attention on her. Again, drawing attention on her. Like, again, like making herself the center of attention because that little girl was left abandoned and never loved. So again, she's like trying to draw all that attention to her. But she was that wallet comment was so ridiculous. And then I jumped.
Ridiculous because you don't know how much anybody has.
No. But then Kyle comes over and she's like, if she really wants to talk about money. And Kyle on the confessional or whatever.
Yeah. Kyle's not on Dorit's side though. Like
I think
this whole season, she's been saying little things in that confessional booth to really undermine Dorit, even with the PK of it all.
Yeah, I think that friendship
wasn't real.
I think it was real for Dorit.
I think their husbands were friends. I think it was real for Dorit because Dorit was raising young kids and like doesn't have many people. I don't think it was like a real relationship for Kyle. I think Kyle, it was just like, oh, this is the wife of my husband's friend. We hang out. We go to dinner together sometimes.
Well, that's clearly how she made it sound, like,
yeah,
for sure. But I feel like Dorit was definitely more believing that she was a good friend of Kyle. I'm sad because I feel like they were good friends.
Well, I'm sad because I feel like they're both going through something really similar. And it's kind of crazy that we're not watching them go through it together. Because that would be this incredible story. And that would be such a good, I feel like since Scandival, the fan base of Bravo has really wanted to see the women bind together and be together. And they loved that about like how the women rallied around Ariana. And then the next summer, everyone really rallied around Lindsay Hubbard on Summer House when she got her engagement called off by her fiance Carl on the show. And so like there's a trend of like everyone loving the women coming together. Love Island, everyone loved this season of Love Island because the women all were working together and like we're all truly friends with each other. And I think it's really interesting that Beverly Hills, these women of another generation aren't coming together.
Yeah.
They're going through something very similar.
Yeah. Yeah. The fact that both Dorit and Kyle, you don't see them leaning on each other for going through the exact same thing is really sad. I know. I feel like they both can't hold space for each other. I feel like they both want to be the main character and like people feel bad for them. And they both really, and I think Kyle more than Dorit. Like I think people always give Dorit a hard time and say she doesn't listen. And she just talks so much, but I don't think that's true. I think she listens. She's kind. Yeah, and I think she can really sympathize with what Kyle's going through. And I think Dorit expected them to go through it together. And I think Kyle is like, well, you'll never understand my situation. Doesn't want to try to connect with anybody about it, except her weird white old British life coach who reminded me of PK. Did you see that scene? That was so He came over and I was like, wait, is she talking to PK right now? Because I was cleaning dishes. I was like, is this PK? And it was like, no, it's another old white British dude. I'm like, why is her life coach literally PK 2.0? Why is he coming to your house? And why are you like... Well, because she's rich as shit. She's, yeah. You know, all of her doctors probably show up at her house. But like also, this is probably going to be the only session we see because she just probably wanted Mauricio to see that she's getting a life coach and working on herself. Because I feel like Kyle can be a mess. A lot. I feel like she's a lot. Yeah. I think like she's also very needy, because she's the youngest one of 3. So that the Hollywood family. So I feel like that also has to do a lot with it. And her sister drama is always a thing. Yeah. Mauricio should date me. Oh, not me. No. Okay, we can share them. Absolutely. I'll take the odd days, you take the even days. Give me whatever hour. Okay, great. Yeah. You take the night shift. I just need a couple hours. I don't need the whole. I'll take the travel. And he's like domestic. Tall and like he's Mexican like myself. We did talk a little bit of Spanish. It's like gracias. Oh my God. And, was he so handsome in person? So sexy. And he's so sexy. Wow. Okay, well I'm glad Beverly Hills has been such a good season so far and it hasn't been boring because that would really. Oh no. That would really suck. So, Victor, I think you also watched Salt Lake City, right? Housewives? Absolutely. What did you think of this past season? This 5th season is like, it's great. And I'm so happy to see Mary back as a main character. But like energetically back too. Because 100%. The previous season,
she couldn't be bothered. She did not want to be involved. She was too good for it. And it was honestly a little annoying. But this season, she came to play.
Yeah, I wonder if she had to sit down with Andy or something to be like, hey, we're not going to make fun of, because I feel like.
I think they threatened to take her job away. And they were like, we can't have another season of you doing this stuff. So like, if you're not into it, then no. But if you are into it, then we need you to commit. And this is what a commitment looks like. And then she brought it tenfold.
No, I think that she, last seasons or wherever, I feel like she's been afraid that she's going to be edited to look like a kooky person. And they were like, no, just be yourself. We're not going to do that to you. And she was like, okay. And she was like more open and just like not afraid of coming across as this crazy lady. And she just felt comfortable. That scene of her behind the window at the church or at the wedding, just everything about her this season was just so her, and I was so happy to see her.
It felt authentic to you.
It felt authentic.
I loved the conversation with her and her son. That whole thing was so scary. Like the beginning of the season was like, this kid is doped up. Something is going on. And then they're sitting in the bed and the mom comes in and they're like barely with it. And I was like, oh no, something weird is going on. And then I don't know if it was like the girlfriend or if it was like both of them getting into it, but I was really impressed with the conversation that they had on camera about it and how open he was to his mom and also how well he was able to articulate.
Yeah,
his exact metaphor wasn't this, but basically it was like, if life's a donut, when I'm on drugs, I feel like I have like a glaze and sprinkle on it, versus basically something like that. And I thought it was just like so powerful and really brave of Mary to go on and do that, especially after being criticized for being like a cult leader and taking money from her church and everything like that, which is what I think the previous season was like a retaliation and like her being fearful of more criticism.
Yeah, that chat with him was beautiful to see. And then it just, I'm sure it helped a lot of people too, just to listen and to, appreciate how open they were. And
do you have a take on Whitney's wholesale jewelry?
Alibaba?
The rumor that she Alibaba'd her jewelry?
I mean, those two images that they showed from Alibaba and her line was kind of telling.
I know, but Alibaba could literally, it's so up in the air because Alibaba could be anybody, anything. Like I could go make an account and list things wholesale for sale on Alibaba. It's millions and millions it's like thousands of vendors.
But didn't she already had like Beauty Lab? No, Beauty Lab is Heather.
Heather has the Beauty Lab.
Okay, yeah, never mind. I feel like
that Monica went to and didn't pay the bill on.
The wig. Or no, that's when she went into Meredith's store when they see the cameras.
I've been to Meredith's store.
Yeah?
Yeah, I was at Sundance and I went and I was walking down the main strip and I saw Meredith's store and they were having a party inside. And I said, I need to go in there for the story. I need to go in there to tell my friend back home, Megan, like what is going on in Meredith's store. So I went and knocked on the door because the door was locked, but they were clearly like champagne and like it was like the girls and gays and all the women were puffy and over Botoxed and all the guys had bleach blonde hair and were Botoxed.
Wait, did you go in or?
Yeah. Oh. So I knocked on the door and I was like, hey, I was hoping I could like, are you guys open? Could I like walk around and check stuff out? And they're like, oh, well, yeah, but we're having an event right now. I'm like, that's no problem. Like I just wanted to check out the store. I'm here for Sundance and like was walking by and I saw some stuff. Do you mind if I just like shop around a little bit? And then this like that. And then Meredith came over and was like, what's going on? And I was like, oh, I just wanted to shop around a little bit. I was walking by and she's like, oh, and I'm like, literally I'll be in and out. I don't need any drinks. I just want to see what you're selling. Cause like I'm here for the festival.
Yeah.
And they're like, I guess. And so they let me in and there was like her son's like sweatsuits were for sale there. And then she had some like t-shirts and stuff for sale and some like rhinestoney jewelry for sale.
Were there cameras or no, it was just the party?
No, there was just there were no cameras. They weren't filming. If you're on the street, Sundance is a big thing for that town. So I think that if you have a shop or you have something going on the main street and you're not renting your venue out for a Sundance related event, it's kind of probably a status thing of hers to like actually have like a little party on the Friday of Sundance in her store.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, smart.
Promote the store, show it has some kind of status with people that are local.
Yeah.
That are her friends or whatever. Because that was the sense of it. Sean was there. They were all like, The housewives weren't there, but like it was like girls and gays in their friend group, I think.
Okay.
It was messy. And I was literally in there just like pretending to look at stuff so I could just like eavesdrop and like be a part of the moment for a minute.
Hell yeah.
But nothing in the store looked good. Like I wouldn't have bought anything in there. It was expensive too, of course. Ugly cotton shirt, $300, $275, shit like that.
Insane.
Just to say you got it. Like a Meredith Marks shirt. It was totally on brand.
Yeah.
Totally on brand. So that was my Meredith story. But maybe we need to go to Utah and go to Heather's like beauty spa.
I'd be down.
Yeah, would you
I'd be down.
Would you get Botox by Heather?
I would. I would. I've been thinking about getting Botox.
LA really pressures us to get Botox.
Have you ever had that?
Not yet.
I feel like I want to. I feel like I'm getting close. Maybe this summer I might do a little bit.
Okay.
I don't mind aging gracefully.
Okay. I love that.
Yeah.
What does Mauricio like Botox? I don't know. Maybe you should
He
ask
looks
him.
good. I don't know. His skin looks great. He looked fine.
He looks good.
He's so sexy.
Oh, rich. Rich. Okay, cool. Well, and the Jen Shaw of it all. Do you think she'll come back on the show when she gets out of prison?
100%. Isn't she getting out like in like a few months or at the end of the year? I feel like she's coming back.
They keep knocking off time. I think she'll be out soon.
Yeah, I think she's coming back. What's the new housewife? Bronwyn. I like Bronwyn.
I like her too.
I
I think
she's
she
good.
wants to be a housewife and she'll do what she needs to do to stay a housewife.
Yeah. I like Angie. I think Angie was...
Angie?
At first, I wasn't. At first, I was like, oh, no. And then when I found out that she was, I was like, ugh. But then this season, she was good.
Last season, I had a hot take on Angie. I was like, Angie only speaks when it means something. She'll get in the mess. But I think she's like a grounded, strong person. And this season, she really showed it. I thought she was great this season.
I mean, yeah, that's why she was sitting next to Andy.
Yeah, she did a great job this season. And I think coming out of the Monica, I think I was really excited to see that people started to see the Angie that I saw.
Whitney reaching out to Monica, I'm surprised they didn't go off even more on that shit.
The thing about Whitney is the wild card. She doesn't really have much anymore that she brings to the show, except how messy she is. Like, she'll just wake up one day and be like, I don't like the way that you looked at me, Heather, and start like an entire feud with Heather about it. And I'm kind of over Whitney and Heather fighting. So I kind of like that she reached out to Monica.
Okay.
See, the thing about Whitney is that of all the housewives, like I love Lisa Barlow. We'll talk about her in a minute.
Oh my God.
Of all the housewives, Whitney is she's a glue person because she's really forgiving. Like you can do Whitney bad and then you can reach out to Whitney and like meet with her and have like an apology and like and she'll be receptive and she'll hear it and she'll be willing to start over again. Like she's a rinse and repeat girl. And you need people like that on reality TV because if you hold a grudge, you're not going to get anywhere.
Yeah.
It's not going to be interesting.
Meredith holds grudges.
Meredith holds grudges bad.
Holds them.
They're never going away. And I get it. I'll hold a grudge too. If you wrong me, you wrong me. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
But Meredith is like, you know what? Maybe Parker Posey's character is loosely inspired by Miss Patricia and Meredith Marks because she's giving messy pills.
Meredith's like
She's
pop-offs are hilarious.
but they're slurry pill in one cocktail messes. It's like,
yeah.
you talk about your husband?
The rumors.
Yeah, it's like the quotes, you can't, she's housewife material.
She is. She brings a lot of
But I'm
juice.
waiting for the season where someone calls her out on being a pill bag lady. Like I feel like she's got that.
Whitney's going to sniff that one out. You know it.
Kind of hope so. It'd be great next season if Whitney's listening, if you made that a storyline, like
dig in her bag. I'm sure she has some lorazepam in there.
Literally, that's what I'm saying.
She does.
That's what I'm saying.
Heather, what's going on with her?
Heather
I guess
is
it's drama between
skinny
her
and not afraid to admit that being skinny is better. And I kind of love that. I love that she's like, no, I was big and now I'm small and life is better being small. And I like that she's being open about it and not being afraid to like speak that truth because, you know.
I think if you hide it, then it's annoying because like Erica, jumping to Erica, when they asked her, she's like, oh, hormones, honey, hormones. I was like, no hormones. It was freaking Ozempic. So I do appreciate that Heather is being honest. And get it. She looks great.
She looks great. And so I think that like what's coming, my future prediction for Heather is that on the next season, I think I really want her to get a little cocky. I want her to like be feeling herself and be taking risks. I thought it was going to come out when Brittany brought that one guy to the party and Heather knew him already.
Mm-hmm.
I thought there was going to be something there. Like if Brittany wasn't paying attention to him, maybe Heather would go be flirting with him in the corner.
Yeah.
I would like to see that. I would like to see Heather
I'm ready for a Heather
unabashedly
romance.
chase some man.
Yeah.
And if it gets in the wake of Brittany or somebody who's just a messy, messy girl.
Yeah.
Her recording in the car and everyone's, oh my God.
I honestly think she wasn't recording. I think she was because she was talking to her daughter and she wanted to send a video.
So here's the thing about Brittany. One, I found out recently, she was in this made-for-TV musical movie for Christmas that I'm obsessed with and I watch every year. It's called The Mistletones. And it stars Tori Spelling and Tia Mowry. And it's...
Tia from Tia and Tamara?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's a a cappella Christmas movie where it's about rival a cappella groups. Brittany is on Tori Spelling's. She's like her number one singer on her a cappella group because Brittany's a singer. Mm-hmm. And she records all sorts of TikToks and videos singing. If you tell me that you think that woman doesn't know how to record, and I'm sure she's the queen of sending nudes to these guys. Okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right. You're right.
And so if you tell me that she doesn't know how to use a phone, I don't believe it. I don't believe it at all.
You're right.
She goes to the mall and sings and like does all these weird videos. Now she knows how to use that phone.
But
She was
when
probably recording it to send to a friend and be like, listen to these bitches or whatever.
But when Meredith got hold
After
of
the
that,
Monica of it all, of course they were going to lose their shit over it.
Yeah.
So funny. And then she couldn't even admit it. She doubled down and like cried and like acted like she had no idea. Why couldn't she just be like,
She cried too much.
sorry, you guys were being so crazy. I wanted to send it to my daughter. I guess that was wrong. Like, why couldn't she just do that?
There you go. Yeah.
Just be like, I think you guys are being insane. So I
Just
wanted to
be
video it.
honest. Just like it's gonna come out.
Yeah.
And then in the editing, they show us how long it's taking her to like go through.
Deleted the
Deleted,
deleteds and all this
yeah.
bullshit. No, she knows what she's doing.
I do like her in there. I like that she's a bit of a
She's a
hot
fresh mess. And
Yes.
I think I
With
love
high body count
I
hair.
think it's how yes. Lisa Barlow. Wait, we're gonna get to Lisa. Don't stop teasing. I love her. No, I feel like Brittany is a fresh mess that can bring in fresh air to their dynamic. I think that like the fact that she's dating and like has this whole thing like, guys, I have an announcement to make. Mm-hmm. Jared and I have a physical relationship. No shit, girl. Heather's like, yeah, you wore a red slip dress to a party. We figured you were having sex.
Yeah. But it was a big deal for her.
And then it's like Heather and Whitney are so funny with this. They will put the fight on the back burner and be like, yes, I'm here to hold space for you. This is a big deal for her, you guys. Don't you understand? And I'm like, oh my God. I mean, I love it because it creates an environment where these people can do crazy things and then can be forgiving. And like it feels like there is an authentic friendship, even if it's like Lisa Barlow's just inviting different people on the show every season.
Is she the one who invites them? Yeah. She's
Well, this season
main...
this season she had a moment where she's like, I'm never inviting anyone on the show again. And she goes through like, I invited Angie, I invited this. And I think like when they bring a friend on the show, they really feel like they're going to have someone in their corner. Mm-hmm. And it never goes like that because they're their own person. They think they're bringing them in as like a supporting character, and it never works out for Lisa that way.
No, they turn on her.
Yeah. Or they just don't speak up and defend her the way she wants to be defended.
That part. Yeah, she wants loyalty over it.
I think Lisa Barlow is one of my favorite characters on the show.
I think she's one of my
She straddles the
favorite
line
in the
of the
franchise.
hypocrisy and like the sound bites, like the Kerastase, to go over and be like, she's like, do I have high body count hair? She's like, no, but your hair is a little dry. Maybe you need some Kerastase heat protector. I was like, see, she's like ready to, I love it. She's ready to
Do you
build a
think that she
business.
planted that little comment to get like because she got a commercial out of it?
Yeah.
Or it's just her just saying random shit.
Brittany got a commercial and Lisa got a commercial for it. But I think she's sincere, but she also knows that if she's going to do something like that she picks the right time and she says the full name of the product. Like I think it's both.
Okay.
It was hilarious. She pulls her side in the fight and says, well, maybe you do need like a heat protector.
Yes, and names the brand.
The brand. Yeah. It was so funny.
She's hilarious. She's great. I didn't like her, I think, the first 2 seasons, but then she's one of my favorite.
She grows on you.
Her Vita tequila, anytime she mentions it, I'm here for it.
It's got to be the worst tequila.
We have to try.
We have to try it.
I like her. I like her husband. Her husband is really sweet.
The Mormon guy.
The
tall Mormon guy. Yeah, he's fine. Her kids are sweet. I think that like they have a good family unit.
Yeah,
the whole Jack going to Colombia thing.
But now he's back.
He didn't. I don't think he lasted long. I think he got like sick and was in the hospital. She flew down there, and then within a couple months he moved back. So I wouldn't want to send my kids to Colombia. My like teenage boy to Colombia. That's insane.
No, that's way too fucking far. First of all,
literally send them to New York City for a summer. That's scary enough. You don't have to send them to Colombia.
Send them to Texas.
Did you check out Denise Richards and her Wild Things? She has a new show.
No, but it's in my
I do want to bring it up.
Yeah.
Just really briefly because it is just as messy as Denise Richards. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's honestly great. And I think that if you're listening to this, you should probably watch it. It's perfect. And it's Alex Baskin, the same producer that's behind most of the Housewives shows, all the Bravo stuff, executive producing this one too. And it starts off with her and her family at a dog trainer because they just adopted 4 golden retriever puppies.
Oh, God.
This woman is like the definition of like a messy ex-Hollywood person that has dog poop all over their floor. She has these 4 golden retriever puppies, and they instantly win me over because they're like, we're hoping one of these dogs could be a service animal for, she's an adopted daughter who has some like special needs. And so they're like, we're hoping one of these dogs could be trained to be like her service animal. But they're all like sibling retriever puppies and they didn't want to break them up. So they got one and then they found out there was a sibling. So they got that one too. Then they found out that there was another sibling. So they got the 3rd one. And then the 4th one was returned because the person had allergies. So they took that. It's just, the woman can't say no. And also she has a beach house in Malibu, but her husband, his parents and his brother are living in it. So she rented a townhouse in Malibu and then it was like not enough space for them. So she rented the neighboring 2 townhouses. So she's renting 3 townhouses and has a home that she doesn't live in. And she has an OnlyFans. And her one daughter has an OnlyFans, Sammy. Mm-hmm. And then she has a daughter, Lola, who's like...
Is her OnlyFans like featuring her puswacha?
Yeah, like topless stuff and like...
Is the husband there?
I haven't seen it.
Okay.
Maybe he is.
Okay.
Maybe they do content together. Because he was like kind of a sexy LA massage holistic guy.
Well, she mentioned he has a huge penis, so I'm interested
multiple
in that.
times. So I feel like that was almost promoting it.
Yeah.
But she's also a Bond girl, so like topless and like modeling and sexy, whatever. And her daughter does OnlyFans too. Sammy, Charlie Sheen's one daughter, who's like a chip of the old block of her mother. But like a modern, like Gen Z, like OnlyFans little hottie with an attitude. Mm. And then she has another daughter named Lola, who is like a Jesus girl. And she's like, I found Jesus when I was 18. And they show her like praying over Taco Tuesday. And like she wears a big crucifix. And like she's fighting with her sister in the first 2 episodes. Like they haven't talked in months and they've never been like that. They used to be best friends. So it literally is giving like devil and angel.
Yeah.
Which is great for the show.
Yeah.
4 golden retriever puppies, sisters fighting. One's like the little OnlyFans selling my body. The other one's like praise Jesus.
5 rentals.
It seems like it's going to be a great season.
Okay. How many episodes are we on?
I've only gotten to the 2nd one, but in the first episode, she comes out the door banging. She brings on Camille Grammer.
Oh, hell yeah.
Who I disdain. But I think
it's drama.
I think it's a genius move because they were both dating these like sitcom idols at the same time. Like Frasier was competing at the Emmys at the same time that 2.5 Men was competing at the Emmys. So they were like the wives of these guys. So they have a relationship. Mm-hmm. So Camille wants camera time. We all know that. She's desperate for camera time. Yes. So Camille comes on and is like, they go out to lunch and they're talking or whatever. And then in the 2nd episode, she goes out for lunch with Tori Spelling. So I'm like, if she keeps this up, it's going to be a really good season between the daughters fighting, one selling sex, one selling Jesus. I'm here for it.
Wait, are we going to get Tori Spelling in the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills?
That would be amazing.
That would be fucking iconic.
She's not a housewife, though. She's single.
None of the housewives in Beverly Hills are
I know,
housewives.
I know.
They're all divorced.
What do you think of that?
It's kind of ironic, and I love it.
Yeah.
They should rename it to
The divorcees of Beverly Hills. They don't even all live in Beverly Hills anymore, too.
No.
That bothers me, too. But I guess it's like, it doesn't matter.
But I would like Tori Spelling. Anyway.
I want Kim Richards back.
Yes.
If you want to talk about unethical housewives to include Lisa Rinna and Kim Richards, I need to see them going at it again.
Yeah, Vanderpump didn't really. I don't think Lisa could
Lisa
stay.
won't do it.
No.
She won't do it. She's too old. She's done. She's got plenty of money. She's got all these restaurant franchises that she makes money off of.
Yeah.
She doesn't have anything to offer anymore. She doesn't have the energy.
No, but do bring
But Kim Richards needs the paycheck. And Lisa Rinna is a hustler. Whatever she works on, she brings it. Someone was like, bring back Eileen. And I was like, don't bring back Eileen.
Absolutely not. A snooze fest of a person.
So boring.
And when she tries to argue, it's like, girl, sit down.
Same with like Yolanda. Like we saw what we need to see from Yolanda and we don't need Yolanda anymore.
No.
Although her like Architecture's Digest tour of like her new man's home in Montana is really interesting and you should watch it.
Yolanda?
Yeah.
Okay.
Her new guy, I don't know, some kind of like
that's
oil
right, 'cause
baron.
she got divorced from that composer.
Oh yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah,
that was sad.
He moved on to the new. No, we all knew it was going to happen.
It was sad though.
It was sad. We hoped for the
Who did
David
he
Foster
move on?
and her to. He's with Catherine. What's her name?
Singer?
Yeah, McPhee.
No way.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. He every like 5 or 10 years, I swear, he just moves on to the girl. The women stay the same age.
I hope they're getting married and making some money off of it.
I don't know if he has any. With all the kids he has and the ex-wives he has, I don't know if there's anything. I don't know what there is.
No.
I know.
So much.
I know. So much stuff. So much Bravo. So much reality TV. Good stuff. I'm so grateful that you came on the show today, Victor. I hope you can come back again soon.
I'm so excited. It was so much fun.
Have a great rest of your week.
You too. Thanks. Bye, everybody.
Meeting adjourned. Until next week, keep your champagne cold and your taglines iconic.